I should be able to take this now and turn it with my finger. Is this gonna work? Holy smokes, let's try it. It totally works. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, we're doing a close-up. I see you. Do you see me? That's probably really annoying. We might do that. Thanks for stopping by for day 3 or 3 videos or day. I don't know how many days in this, but it's a third video on our project with our Polaris 500. This is a 2007 power steering project. For those of you that haven't watched the first videos, the problem is nobody makes a kit for 2007, but we'd really like to add it. 2006, I keep saying that, but 2002 to 2007 is a series like for the frame. They really didn't change much except a little bit of cosmetic looks during that time. And so nobody makes a kit for it. But our friends at superatv.com hooked us up because they make an awesome kit. I mean, it is really nice. They designed the whole thing. It's watertight. We'll show you what it looks like, but it doesn't fit this range. So we're trying to figure it out. And we've had a few problems. Like, like the tank not fitting because it turns out the ×2, which is this dump bed and where the seat pops back, this one has a bigger tank than the standard Polaris. It's very interesting, yeah. So we're gonna take this out and show you what the problem is, what we figured out, and what we still got to work out because we still got a pretty major problem. But don't forget, if you didn't watch the first 2, we're doing a giveaway with these Built for Battle hoodies. It's pretty sweet from superatv.com and one of these awesome hats. And we're gonna let you pick out your style. Now all you gotta do to enter is comment. Oh, it's supposed to comment. How easy is that? And you can win one of these. And they are so nice and soft that every time I say that, Tom makes a look on his face. But they're very comfortable. So let's get rolling, let's get to work and see if we can figure out these problems.
I have a question about the comment.
Oh, obviously this. Comment them, yes.
Oh, you don't need to see me.
Oh, we do. We have to say, because this is Dr. Torque. He's here to help us again today.
Here to break off some bolts.
Breaking off some bolts, hence the name.
So I have a question about the contest that other people might be asking. Yeah, let's go with ask. Where do these comments come from? Is it all 3 videos, however many videos that ends up being? Or is it only on the first video where the comments count for the contest, Jake?
Isn't this man astute? Is that, I don't know what astute means.
It works. I would just go with genius.
I think, okay, the answer to that question is yes. The first one, the second one, the third one, got all the comments throughout all the videos. We're gonna grab all those. This is just comments for this series, which is probably gonna be 3, we hope, if we can figure this out. We're gonna try our best to get it done with 3. Raptor dog. Hey, Chet. Hey, you don't even care. I'm busy, there's food over here. Hey, where'd you, dog? He snuck in. Check out the project. What do you think? Is he our supervisor? Looking the whole thing over. Boring. All right, let's do a quick recap. We're about to do an important test right here. So, we've got this all mounted back in. This is tight, the bracket's on the bottom so it doesn't pivot. We've taken this over absolutely as far as we can and being comfortable structurally everywhere. The tank does hit here, but we smoothed this out and we've gotten over far enough that it does fit back in these holes, these brackets. However, there's one more concern. As we were turning the wheels and testing it, this bolt, as you saw, stuck out much further and it would have absolutely hit the tank. So I've cut that back out a little closer, as you can see right there. And let me get the light up there. Now the concern is this corner, when this pivots. Actually, you want to turn the wheel here, Mr. Torque? As you turn it, it's pretty dang close to this outside edge. So the question is, if we put the tank in and we turn it, will we have created another problem? Well, we didn't create it, we're solving it. Will we have another problem to solve? I don't know. I hope to get, we're almost done with this part. Okay, test successful. I think we're good. I think we can actually move on now to the next step. Hooray!
The next problem, you say?
Well, the rest of this, though, we hope is, I feel like well, no, there's the battery. I forgot about the battery. Okay, so what we've decided is that we'll show you when we go back, but the way this is going to go in, that we're going to try and keep the battery in the same location, I can't get the battery over the top and into this tray without cutting this. So that's our next challenge, is to cut this off and see what we can get. All right, so what we decided to do is mount the battery basically just like it was, only moved forward. We can't turn it sideways. There's just no way with these two different hoses and this line coming out of the oil reserve down here. There's just no, it physically is impossible to fit sideways. So we're gonna keep it this way, but and we're gonna actually move it over here so we can mount it to the frame through here and 2 bolts down. Because as you can see, it's only sitting about right there. It's not actually. So it's only sitting over the tray about this far. And so we don't feel like that's, both of us agree, even though we disagree, we agree that it's tilting. So we're gonna put a bolt through the side here. And I believe that could be enough. And we're gonna space this back out away from the motor, and maybe like 3/16, something like that. But the problem here is the battery, there's no way to fit it in. So, because that lip came up and over. So now, what we're going to attempt to do is to see if this will fit in.
As long as it's flopping around, it'll fit fine.
As long as it's flopping around. I think probably. I sure hope so.
Yeah, I think it'll fit.
So, okay. Okay. So I think that is a success. We're still gonna header wrap this and get as much heat away from the battery as we can, because we're gonna get pretty close now. But you can see these coolant lines that have been sitting here from the factory are pretty dang close, and they haven't melted. Obviously they've got coolant running through them, but it isn't even melting the outside. So we'll probably put some reflective product on the end of this, I think, on the battery to help. But I think we got it. I'm encouraged that maybe this won't be too bad a solution. So, okay, on to the next step. All right, so we got the bolt in through the side. This feels super secure now. So we got just 1 bolt down in the bottom.
Turn that light off.
Oh, is that light bright? I'll turn it this way so you can see. There we go. So we got 1 bolt down through the bottom. We reused one of the holes from the spot welder and just mashed it with some grease. Then we've drilled a even smaller hole. This was a number 7, and this is a number what? 5?
It was a 6mm. I thought you said going down, or was it 7?
6
yeah,
or 7.
whatever, 6 or
yeah,
7.
Something like that.
And then a 5
even
there.
smaller one here. Yeah, 5, because we're going through the frame, so we don't want to too big of a hole here. So we
Smallest
matched
hole as possible.
some of the holes that they already had. But that really secured this, so I feel really good about that. So now the next step is, will this battery slide in? Will this slide in? Because we cut that top off. Oh, yes. All right, that's a success. Sweet. And will these reach?
That reaches.
And you check this out. It's actually negative on the right and positive on the left, which matches our cables. I thought for sure.
Right.
Huh? What?
You're backwards from the viewers.
Well, that's okay. That's what I'm seeing. If it would have been opposite, these wouldn't have worked.
Slide the battery all the way forward.
I'm gonna go forward all the way.
That's weird.
It's just tight from that bolt.
Oh yeah, that's right. We need the padding under there. But anyway, this is going to reach without even
Beautiful.
putting strain on this.
Awesome. Wow, so our cables reach. That's fantastic. And these,
Yeah, we thought we were going to have to make up new cables, but we aren't even going to have to.
now will this?
Will the winch cables reach?
This is the, like, and then some. Or not and then some, but just. Oh no, I got plenty. Sweet. Well, that's fantastic. That's a super win. I'm very happy about that. That's really cool.
Is it a super ATV?
Well, it was, what? Okay, next step is take some of our header wrap. This awesome stuff right here that we used already to wrap this entire exhaust that we talked about all the way to the back. And now we just need to get this front. Wish I would have done that before, but there was no reason before. So we'll wrap that and cut out a piece of reflective material for the battery and we're good to go. All right, check it out. I think we got this part. I'm trying to give him credit, but he ain't taking it.
I was sitting down.
He was sitting down. But check it out. I put a slot here, cut in this, and lapped it over so I can pull it tight and just put a clamp up on the top. But doesn't that look pretty good? I mean, that's about as tight and
As long as,
you're gonna get
as long
it.
as you can get the spring back on.
Yeah, springs are fun. They're fun, but that was pretty good. So on to the next one. Okay, the next step is to take this right here. This is where the brain box goes. And the instructions say that if there is a splash guard, right there is reading, you take it off. See that? Splash guard?
Splash guard.
Splash guard, which we don't have, but you can see why maybe you would want one with all of the mud. But this is the control for the winch. So it's possible that that was already removed. But the bolts underneath here do look like, you can't even really see them. There's 2 bolts under there, trust me, 2 bolts. And they look like they line up with these right here. And then the brain gets mounted on the bottom. So we're gonna see if that fits next and move on to whatever step this is. Does it say? Does it say what step it is?
Figure 7.
Figure 7, and then we
Figure
added
7, 8, 9.
like 37 steps because it's a 2x. But if you were just having a standard Sportsman, you'd be cruising right along. So all right, let's go to the next one. Okay, next step is to take that plate and mount the brain on it. So this is how it's going to go on the frame. See how that's sticking out? You got that weird little notch there. That's a part that goes towards the back. It comes with these nuts. No, bolts. Bolts. I said bolts after I said nuts. These are kind of a mix of, they're threaded partially. So you start them and then you just have to finish threading them by force. Not really a lot of force, but what would you call those? Half threaded?
Well, it was tapped a ways in, and then you had to dig a couple more threads.
Couple more
Not a big
threads.
deal.
No, yeah, it's not hard at all.
Probably bites in and holds better.
Yeah, but that's what you got. So now we're gonna get this puppy mounted. Okay, check it out. I think we've got this baby in place. We've got these wires, because this box you kind of got to really push to the back. We had to take off the zip tie, but it's in. And now we'll move on to the next step.
It's on here. We don't know if it's hard or not.
We don't know. We don't know if this is gonna work. This might be good or might be bad. We're gonna try to put at this point the handlebars back on and do partial reassembly to see if we can get some of these wires. Cause look at this mess of wires here. We got a ton of wires, but there's more than just stock too. We got heated grips for the front and the thumb, the grips, the thumb, and then heated for the back. And we've got stuff that's already running off of this.
That's the power source for the turning it on and off kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there's something else tapped into it, and we don't know for sure.
Yeah, we don't remember what that was when we unplugged it.
We think it's the heated grips.
Yeah, I think so. And just so you can kind of get a close-up on the wiring, there's more than one orange on ours at least to come out. I don't know if that's the winch. I think that's the winch maybe. But I don't know. And then this one. But this is the only one with, see this kind of squarish plug right here? That's the only one that's there. And we think it's like a...
It looks just like the alternator connector on an early Chrysler, you know, late 60s, early 70s Chrysler product.
So everybody knows what that's gonna look like. But hey, if you do know what it is, you'll know exactly what to look. But yeah. All right, so I got a date tonight. So it's getting a little late and we're gonna call it, but we actually did some really great work with getting the gear, getting the motor and gear and everything in there, and the box for the battery and all that, and the header wrap. And next we got to figure out the wiring, but we've got some of the wiring. We've got at least the brain mounted under here. And
we found a wire here. This is the correct wire.
Yep, we found the correct wire up there. We think we might have found the correct wire back in there. We got to solder into. What are those crazy connectors I can never remember?
Scotch lock.
Scotch lock. I'm not the biggest fan of Scotch locks because it cuts part of your wire internally, but they're there so you don't have to cut it. But I don't think it makes as good a connection or anything. So I'm gonna do solder it. But that's the next step. We'll pick it up tomorrow, and we'll see you then. What's happening? It's the next day. We got, of course, Rapper Dog in here. He's supervising. Actually, he's looking for Renee. For some reason, he likes to hang out with her more than me. I don't blame him though. But look, we got this, and you know what? Dr. Torque's not here today, but that's okay because I'm not alone. I got you, and we're hanging out. And today, we're gonna work on finishing this up. What do you think, Jet? Think there's a chance today we can finish this up? What do you think? Oh, good boy. That's a lot of confidence to live up to right there. I hope we can get it. I'm like 75-ish% confident that we're going to get it done today. But I tell you what I am 100% confident in, and that is that we are going to make good improvements. We're going to make progress today. So doesn't this look good? I mean, just having the handlebars on, I mean, doesn't that just feel better? I feel like it's improving just because there's handlebars. Like, we're making progress. It took so long to figure out the motor. So next step up is the electrical. We got a little bit of figuring out. I think I might know where that is. I'll check it out. I'll show you what I come up with. Let's get to work. A little surprise appearance when the bat cave doors open for Matt Renee. How nice was that? That was kind of cool. Of course, once she comes in, Raptor dog, he's gone. He's nowhere to be found. He followed Matt Renee. But hey, I don't blame him, like I said. Let's talk about the next steps. If you look at the destructions here, as Dr. Tor calls them, what we're trying to do is locate the wires for the speed control. Remember I said that one of the awesome things about this kit, and super important, if I didn't mention it, is that this kit actually changes the input power. I guess I can put it that way, based on your speed. So if you're going really slow, it's gonna give you full assist. But if you're going 20 or 30 miles an hour, it reduces it so you don't tap the handlebars and have them, crank all the way to one side. And then you know what would happen. Not very nice. That's why it's important to get a really good kit, like the one from superatv.com that we're using. So what they're telling us to do here is I've got to find that speed wire that goes into the back. These are upside down. I can't tell what the problem is. But right rear, it looks like, from the clues here, it looks like that's maybe the shifting linkage. So it's back behind that. I think that's ours. Let me grab a light. Is that what we've got here? We've got red and white, brown, green, and kind of red. I think that's it. That is really cool. I think we've located our wire. So now we've got to tap into that. So we got a little work to do on the wiring, but how exciting to actually be on the wiring. Getting ready to plug in the actual sensors. Pretty darn excited about this because it feels like you're getting closer to the end when you're plugging stuff in. Let's get to plugging. What a satisfying sound and feeling that is. Did you hear that? It was just so nice. Just click, it's in, it's done. Okay, so that should go towards the back. I don't know which way that points. I think this way. Oh, is that in? That one was kind of tight. Yeah, that seems in. I think maybe it goes this way. Oh, yes. Okay, well, there's only one left. That's a good sign. And that's clip on the outside too. Oh, so nice. That was cool. Now let's get to routing some of these wires. And I hate wires that are just strung across everything. I want to run them with some of our other wiring harnesses and just really tuck those in and make it look professional, right? Like when you're done, like it looks like we took this to a shop, or hopefully even better then. So, okay, next step, let's go. Have a look at this. So what we did is I disconnected 3 plugs over here. One here, and then one here. There's 3 plugs, 1, 2, 3. And what that allowed me to do was pull this up through the top here. So that's pretty cool. So, oh, you know what? Let me show you something thoughtful. This is what thoughtful companies do with their products. Besides that they ran a wire loom for us all the way back. When they did split this one wire off, instead of just leaving that wire exposed, they put it in an extra little tube so that it's got some protection. It's a small detail, but that's what counts, isn't it? The little details. Like when you get a product from somebody that has thought this out, and in this case, they actually use their own products, right? So it's pretty cool. So thank you, superatv.com. I really like that little extra touch, as well as many of the others. So let's get going to the next step. We got the wiring all back in, taped and wrapped up, nice and secure, back in the harness. I feel pretty good about that. And so we shall now plug everything back in, and this backside will be done. If we got the right wire, that is. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, check this out. This stuff, this little window seal stuff was awesome in here. Look at that. Nice little tray for the battery. Okay, we got a little piece of heat shielding on the back of this tape. It works pretty good. I mean, it definitely made a difference when we put it on the backs of these pieces up here for heat coming through on the exhaust. So it's got to help, right? That plus the header tape, which I know I mentioned a million times. And hopefully this battery isn't ready to die. Like, you know, like I'm gonna have to replace it soon. But if I do, I do. It's been a good battery. It's been a good battery. We want to protect it as long as we can. So now the battery goes in, and we actually hook up the power. Exciting and scaring. Yes, check this out. It's all wired in there. And I mean, considering how many crazy wires we got going and moving everything, I think it's actually pretty clean. I mean, we got it spooled up as best we can. We got it kind of clipped going through here. I feel like it's pretty secure. It's also tucked right up in the center where hopefully a stick doesn't get, because, you know, that's always the rule, right? If you're wondering, like, what could go wrong, get this, you go, what is the way that a stick could get up here that would never happen, ever, when you're in the woods? That's how you figure out what will happen. You do that. And of course you can't cover everything, but when it's on the other side, I was just like, boy, I feel like maybe a stick could get in there. So here, this will be pretty tough. Not impossible, but pretty dang tough. So now I just got to clip a few of these guys back together, which is reassembly. So I'm actually going to go back and watch the first video and see how the heck some of this came apart. Make sure I know how to put it back together. And then do that just so that the machine doesn't get some error or something, you know, when I plug it in. But the power's on. Well, power's hooked up, power's on. So I'm going to go watch that video and then come back and plug those in. And we are going to test this sucker. I know, crazy. But we are there. Coffee break. Okay, back to work. I have to say that I am a little bit nervous about this. It's a lot of stuff that has to go right, but I know we have so many things unplugged. I don't know. There might be an issue, but hey, at some point you got to actually try it. So I'm going to put the keys in. I'm going to sit you down just for a second. I'm going to put the keys in, and then we're going to see if this works. Hold on, maybe I can hold this still. Well, there's nothing smoking or sparking. Oh, I forgot to look if that light blinked once. Crap. Well, we're going to have to turn it off. Turn it back on again. Hear that? I don't know what that ticking noise is. Let's turn it back off. I don't know what that was. Let's turn it back on and let's watch the light. This light is right there, supposed to blink once. One blink, and that's it. Oh boy, this is big. I should be able to, I should be able to take this now and turn it with my finger. Is this gonna work? Holy smokes, let's try it. It totally works. Look at this. Oh my gosh. All the way in. Can't believe it. It totally works. This is awesome. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't even believe this. Let's look down here. Everything seems to be functioning properly. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. Look at this. I can't believe it. This is wild. Okay, let's turn the power off. This is so awesome. Let's turn the power off. And let's see. Is that noisy thing? Now, oh my gosh. I literally have to. I mean, it's not like it's impossible. I do it all the time in the woods. But man, it suddenly highlighted how hard that is. Oh, let's turn it back on. We got to try it one more time. Oh my gosh. I am very, 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 very happy about this. I mean, wow. I'm speechless. Oh, how satisfying to have this work like that after all that effort and work. Oh, look at that. I mean, I could do literally, let's see here. I don't know if the camera would work. Come on, camera. There we go. Look at this. I wonder if I could do it with the pinky. You can turn your four-wheeler with your dang pinky. We're gonna turn this baby off and we're gonna start putting it back together. And I actually went back and looked at the first video so I could remember how to do it. And it was pretty darn good. Like I feel like, okay, yeah, that's right, I remember that stuff. Which is a test, right? We need to make sure that it was documented so anybody else that want to do this could do it. So I'm going to start putting this baby back together. Oh man, I'm so glad you were here with me to check this out. That is so cool. Well, all right, back to work. Okay, check it out. We've got the tank back in. It does not stink like gas. It is a huge win. This is back on now, and we've got it attached down here. We've changed these so that they're down the bottom, so that you can actually get to them without taking all this stuff off. might have saw if Joel decided to put it in, that little seat popping in and out took a long time, considering how long it normally takes to pop in and out. But the reason was because this tank shroud is adjustable, and so it was way too far back at first on one side. I know this isn't an automobile, we don't have to have this reveal, this gap the same, but why the heck not? It looks good, what it is, and then I adjusted it and it was too tight, and this seat was rubbing on this plastic, which just then it creates a hot spot where it's gonna wear out. So I didn't want either, I wanted it to be nice. I just And I'm gonna look at that, and it would drive me crazy if this wasn't aligned and if I knew it was wearing or not right. So, okay, now we keep moving, but that's pretty cool because now I got a cushy seat to sit on. How nice is that? Okay, check it out. This is the very last screw of the very last piece of this project. It's right down there. Oops, last turn. Oh man, can you believe this? We're done. We totally did it. Oh man, did you wonder sometimes if we were gonna be able to do it? You can admit it. I wondered myself a couple times if this was gonna fit, if this was gonna work. Could we take this kit from superatv.com? Thank you, superatv.com. We so appreciate you sending us out that kit so we could try this out, proving that we can take that kit that's for 2008 and up and use it on a 2007 model back to 2002. That's pretty dang cool. And if you have a standard Sportsman, I would absolutely say this project you could do no problem. It's not gonna be that difficult. Not with what we learned and documented. Now, if you have the X2, I think I keep calling it times 2, but I think it's actually X2. If you have the X2, that's a little tougher. You're gonna have to be comfortable doing what we did by grinding a lot. You know where you need to grind now. But if you have an X2, you can buy a standard Sportsman tank, and you could put it in that way. That's very feasible. I believe you could do that. So, man, holy cow, this is cool. I can't believe it. We're gonna probably test it out tomorrow, go for a ride. But that is the official end of the Polaris build. We did it. Thanks for hanging out the whole time. That was so cool. So, from all of us at Malicious Mischief, which we're changing your name, by the way. That's big news. I'm letting it out, a little sneak preview. We're Malicious Mischief, and it was kind of coming up when people were doing searches with some other unsavory things. So we're gonna change it to Malicious Mischief. It's very descriptive of what we do anyway. So just want to say thanks. Don't forget to comment, because then you can get entered to win. We're gonna take the comments from these 3 videos, and you're gonna enter to win one of the Built for Battle hoodies or one of your choice, and these awesome hats, because superatv.com is hooking you up. Once again, thank you so much. I love you. Uncle Jake, signing off, take you out with the fist bump of friendship. Wow. Stardate 497. We got in the quantum polar vortex with the gas tank. We can't get out. We keep repeating the same actions over and over again. At this point, we've developed an uneasy truce with gas tanks and myself, although we still hate each other's guts. And the gas tank has begun to speak to me in the voice of James Earl Jones. It's very disturbing. You shut up, gas tank. You're not my father. I must get back to work. I must escape. I must find a way out. I still think this is really funny. Maybe it's not as funny the second time. Tell me, kick it up your head. Would you wrap me back on? You left me back on. You picked up a check for the 112th time, and you hope it's to last. Doo-doo.